So let's solve one more question. Find the value of cot inverse under root 3 plus 3 cot inverse minus 1. Now the expression cot inverse under root 3 plus 3 cot inverse minus 1 has got two terms, and the first term is cot inverse under root 3. So let's first find out the value of cot inverse under root 3. Let cot inverse under root 3 be equal to theta. We have already studied that the theta in cot inverse function is defined from 0 to pi. Now cot inverse under root 3 is equal to theta, which means theta is the angle cotangent of which is equal to under root 3. So we can also write cot theta is equal to under root 3. And now what is the angle for which cot theta is equal to under root 3? And if you remember, that angle is 30 degree or pi upon 6. So we can also write cot theta is equal to cot of pi upon 6. And now cot theta is equal to cot pi upon 6. And that means theta is equal to pi upon 6. But cot inverse under root 3 is equal to theta. So we can write cot inverse under root 3 is equal to pi upon 6. So the value of first term is pi upon 6. And our second term is 3 into cot inverse minus 1. Now let's find out the value of cot inverse minus 1. Again, let cot inverse minus 1 be equal to theta, where theta is the angle cotangent of which is equal to minus 1. So we can write cot theta is equal to minus 1. And what is the angle for which cotangent is equal to minus 1? In the interval 0 to pi, that angle is 3 pi upon 4. So we can also write cot theta is equal to cot of 3 pi upon 4. So cot theta is equal to cot 3 pi upon 4, which means theta is equal to 3 pi upon 4. And also cot inverse minus 1 is equal to theta. So we can write cot inverse minus 1 is equal to 3 pi upon 4. So that means our second term is 3 into 3 pi upon 4. And now let's find out the sum of both terms. So we have cot inverse under root 3 plus 3 cot inverse minus 1 is equal to pi upon 6 plus 3 into 3 pi upon 4. Or we can write pi upon 6 plus 9 pi upon 4. And that further becomes 2 pi plus 27 pi upon 12. And that finally becomes 29 pi upon 12. So that means cot inverse under root 3 plus 3 cot inverse minus 1 is equal to 29 pi upon 12. So let's solve one more question. Evaluate the following. And the expression is tan inverse 1 plus cos inverse minus half plus sine inverse minus half. Now this expression has got three terms, so we shall find out the value of each one by one. And our first term is tan inverse 1. Now let tan inverse 1 be equal to theta, where theta is the angle between minus half pi and half pi. Now tan inverse 1 is equal to theta, which means theta is the angle the tangent of which is equal to 1. So that means tan theta is equal to 1. Now for which angle the tangent is equal to 1? And that angle is 45 degree or pi upon 4. So we can write tan theta is equal to tangent of pi upon 4. And that means theta is equal to pi upon 4. And now theta is equal to pi upon 4. So that means tan inverse 1 is equal to pi upon 4. And now let's find out the value of second term, which is cos inverse minus half. Now let cos inverse minus half be equal to theta, where theta is the angle which lies in the interval 0 to pi. Now cos inverse minus half is equal to theta. And as per the definition of cos inverse function, this means that theta is the angle the cosine of which is equal to minus half. Or in other words, cos theta is equal to minus half. And now for which angle the cosine is equal to minus half? In the interval 0 to pi, that angle is 2 pi upon 3. So we can also write cos theta is equal to cos of 2 pi upon 3. And that means theta is equal to 2 pi upon 3. And also cos inverse minus half is equal to theta. So we can write cos inverse minus half is equal to 2 pi upon 3. And now let's find out the value of third term, which is sine inverse minus half. Again, let sine inverse minus half be equal to theta, where theta is the angle between minus half pi and half pi. So now sine inverse minus half is equal to theta. And from the definition of inverse function, here theta is the angle the sine of which is equal to minus half. Or we can write sine theta is equal to minus half. And for which angle the sine is equal to minus half? If you remember, that angle is minus 30 degree or minus pi upon 6. So we can write sine theta is equal to sine of minus pi upon 6. And that means theta is equal to minus pi upon 6. And also sine inverse minus half is equal to theta. So we can write sine inverse minus half is equal to minus pi upon 6. And now we have with us the value of all the three terms. So now let's find out the value of whole expression, which is tan inverse 1 plus cos inverse minus half plus sine inverse minus half. Now tan inverse 1 is equal to pi upon 4. So we can write pi upon 4, and cos inverse minus half is equal to 2 pi upon 3. So we can write pi upon 4 plus 2 pi upon 3 plus sine inverse minus half, and sine inverse minus half is equal to minus pi upon 6, and that means the final expression becomes pi upon 4 plus 2 pi upon 3 minus pi upon 6. And now taking 12 as LCM, we have 3 pi plus 8 pi minus 2 pi divided by 12, and that is equal to 9 pi upon 12, and that finally becomes 3 by 4 pi. So the value of tan inverse 1 plus cos inverse minus half plus sine inverse minus half is equal to 3 pi upon 4.